In this tutorial, we're going to be using this shell to demonstrate how you can reproduce a three-dimensional object by creating a double-sided carve. We're going to use STL Slicer to export both sides of this pattern. Now to do this, let's start off with unlinking the dimensions here. As you can see, this is 780. I'm going to make this out of a 3/4 inch piece of material, so I'm going to change that here. Click off, that sets the dimensions there, just shallows that just slightly so it's going to fit in my workbook. And go ahead and click next. Bring me into my slicing plane. Now the green, anything past the green is going to show up on my slice. So I'm just going to go ahead and click slice here. That's just going to define that slice, and then I'll hit next. That's going to open me up into this screen here, which shows me my models. Now I want both sides of this, so over here where it says two-sided, I'm going to click on that. That is going to allow me to export both this side and this side of the pattern. Now you can see this is going to go ahead and default make a directory named what this original pattern was and drop that into our pattern library. I'm going to go ahead and accept that and click Finish. Okay, I've gone ahead and created a board here. I'm going to cut this out of basically a 1x6, so set my 6 thickness to 3/4 of an inch. And you can see we have created the patterns from the STL model. So I'm going to start with the front face of that shell. Now the first thing when we are going to be creating something that we've imported in from slicers, we want to be sure to uncheck this scale to fit board down here at the bottom of our pattern library. Make sure that's unchecked. We don't want anything sweeping in and scaling or changing our pattern in any way. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop this on our board here, and I'm going to go ahead and tell it to center up both. Okay. Now I'm going to go to my back side, and you can see we see the outline of where that pattern is. Now I'm going to go ahead and drop the other side. You can tell which is which by just looking at the small preview plane here right underneath the pattern library. So I'm going to grab that one and drop that onto the board. Okay, I'm going to go ahead then and rotate that 180 degrees, and then also tell that to center up both. Now you notice those both line up there. When it creates the patterns, essentially it creates them with the same coordinate system. Now it just makes it simple to go ahead and center these here, but I could have actually located them using one of the corners on both front and back. Now you can see that this obviously, if I did this, continued on along this method, I would actually be carving out this whole back section here, and this piece would be floating free. That's clearly not what we want to do. So the first thing to note is that whenever we drop a pattern onto the board that comes in from Slicer, it's automatically going to put it as pierced. Now let's uncheck that. And you'll notice that when it does pierced, it's actually making it a little bit deeper. Now we made that 3/4 of an inch, but it's adding another 0.008 to make sure that it pushes it through the board. We don't want to do that in this case, so the first thing we do is take it back to our actual dimension that we want. We're then going to go to carving, and we're going to turn off our feather. So we want no feather here. We're also going to take off our floor feather. We don't want that as well. We're going to go to bit optimization. We're going to put that on best, and we're going to give ourselves a small draft. And we might come back a little bit later. Some of these may be a little bit thin. We might go add a little bit more draft to that a little bit later. But for right now, that's going to take care of what we need to worry about at the moment. We're going to flip back to our front face. We'll click on our pattern. Now here you see we do have a feather on this, but we're actually going to go ahead and take that feather off as well. And we're going to go and outline this pattern. We're going to going to take that outline and we're going to offset that path. Now the amount we offset is dependent upon the bit I'm going to be using. Now I'm going to be using a 16th inch bit, so I'm going to go just a little bit beyond that. I'm going to go 0.15. Now if you click OK here, it's going to show you where that's going to end up. So it's showing you the dotted line. So we're going to go ahead and click OK. And we're going to go back to that one, and we are going to go ahead and create a region, and we're going to tell that one to pierce. We're also going to go ahead and give it just a little bit of a feather on there. Now notice that the feather is moving towards the inside, so we're going to go here right next to feather is feather with the little arrow. That we're going to flip it to the outside of that region. And we're going to come back and clean up and optimize our shell on this side here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to bit optimize that to best. We're going to go over here again. It's got that pierced. We're going to take away that extra 8 thousandths. Now we do have a cliff edge over here, so we will go ahead and put a small draft on that. It's not really necessary, but it just keeps us from cliff edging, which can give us a jagged edge over there. Okay. Now this is basically the same method you would use whenever you were going to be piercing something out, cutting it out. You create the region around it to give room for the bit to go all the way through. So the next thing we're going to do though is we don't want to have this just floating out here when we carve it out. So we're going to put some tabs in. Now to do that, I'm going to go over, I'm going to grab my line, and I like to go to my board setup and then this tool right up here, reset tool after use. If you can see where my mouse is going back and forth, right up here, we're going to go ahead and uncheck that. Now this function keeps so that if you draw something or you do something, it will always default back to your arrow. When we unselect that, it will mean whatever we've selected here will remain persistent. So I can go drop lines in wherever I want, however many tabs I might think I may need. You can kind of decide however many you want. Now then I can unclick that, and that'll put me back such that when I do a function, it will default me back to my arrows. Now I'm going to go to carving, and I'm going to go ahead and just click on the tab function. Now here we can change the styles of tabs we want. We can change the width, we can change the height. We can also change the depth. Now if I had have allowed that backside to pierce through a little bit more, then I could have actually moved so my tabs would be higher up on this. Of course, with what we're doing here, we don't want that to do that at all. So I'm just going to go ahead and say OK. Now I'm going to do a final look at everything and just kind of do an inspection. First thing I notice is there's no way that these are ever going to come out. They're just too thin. So I'm going to click on that pattern. I'm going to up my drafts. That might be a little extreme, so we can go to a custom draft. We have from 0 to 32, so we can just start inputting numbers and just kind of look at it and see, yeah, that's definitely better. Let's try a 6. We can kind of back down to maybe a 4. We can kind of bracket it from both sides. I think I'm going to go back to that 5. I get a little more in the larger areas than I would like, but I'm pretty confident that with the 5, I'm going to actually have these sections come out for me. Now the only other thing that we want to look at is, let's click center that up, is we want to think about our thickness. So I'm going to go here to the edge over here, and down at the very bottom left hand corner you will see the dimensions that we have here. So as I move my mouse, you'll see the third one there, the 0.67779, that is telling me the thickness. So if I'm not entirely confident in that it's going to have enough thickness in this when I'm done, I can check it, and I can check that with regard to what I am seeing on the front side. And I might go ahead and just shallow this up a little bit more, just to give myself a little more meat. Once you're confident in that, we can go ahead and compile this board, and let's go ahead and give it a carve.